Alright, what is going on, my fellow Marvel Rivals gamers? It's your boy, Coach Apxche, and today we're doing a VOD review for our boy Flipper. Right? We're playing some Captain America on some Clintar. With that being said, we're going to talk about the abilities for those who don't know how the abilities work, and if you do, you can jump to the timestamp right here. Alrighty, so for those of you who do not know how the abilities work, we're going to run over pretty quickly. So first ability here is going to be your shield ability. Basically, you're going to put up a shield that has about like 500 health, I think about. Any kind of projectiles that hit it will bounce off. But things like beams will not bounce off. They'll just damage the shield. So like Cloak and Dagger and Scarlet Witch, right? This ability here is going to be your shield throw. You will throw your shield and it would actually bounce off of enemies as well as nearby surfaces. So if I'm in the air and I throw my shield at the floor and I barely miss the enemy, it would actually bounce off the floor, hit the enemy, and then come back to me. This ability here is going to be your slam. This is only active when you're actively jumping in the air with your super sprint or your sprint, right? And this basically allows you to slam down. This ability is going to be your sprint ability. Obviously, you're going to sprint around like a mad lad, and it's unlimited. It doesn't run out, no cooldown, cool beans. And then this ability here is also, I don't think it's tied to your sprint. I'm pretty sure it's not. That's gonna be your dash, right? So just a little shield dash, shield bash, right? And that just allows you to dash forward. So you have a dash forward, you have a limited sprint with a super jump, and you have a slam. And then for attacks, right, you're gonna have your shield throw and your melees, right? Cool thing about Cap, you can see as a passive that every time you hit 2 melees, you get 4 shield throws. And not this ability, but like through your basic attacks. So punch, punch, and then your next like 3-4 primary attacks are going to be shield tosses. So you can use that in a way. If this is what the enemy team ends up running, you can like punch a tank, right? And you can throw your shields at the Iron Man, right? So that's one thing that I don't do enough of, and I don't see a lot of caps do enough of, is using your melee to get the ability to throw your shots, and then putting yourself in a position to throw shots at people, or like looking past tanks to throw your shield things at other people. A lot of times they look at Cap as just a hyper dive character, but they don't think about like, oh, well, if there's somebody who can fly, how do I deal with that, right? You can't really dive a flyer. So yeah. And then lastly is going to be your ultimate ability. What that's going to do is you're going to gain overshield, as well as you're going to, as you run, you're going to leave a path, an American flag path behind you, and that is going to give not only yourself but your teammates movement speed and shields. And yeah, it also is going to augment your shield ability. So when you have your shield up, it'll knock people back. Now, instead of it just you running into them, it'll actually actively push them backwards. And that's the abilities. Without further ado, let's get into the gameplay. So we're going to wait a little bit. Make sure this is exactly what they run.
4, 3, 2, 1.
We even got a little shield crosshair. It's funny. Alright, so as it seems, right, this is what they're going to roll out on. So obviously, I know the comp, but we're going to kind of go off of, what you see, right? And then basically say, okay, how can we play against this, right? So you are a Cap, you have really crazy mobility, you should be scouting off rep, right? So that's kind of what you're doing now, right? So as of right now, your job is just get information. Looking at your team comp, you have these support combos, definitely interesting. It's kind of like a death volley comp, it looks like, especially with these characters. So I would say your team should probably be playing up with you, if anything, and you should be looking kind of just fight with your team so they can get the most out of these supports. Yeah. But as we see Hulk, we see Iron Man, right? It's two things. We're just sitting here scouting. Just get as much information as you can. What do I see? What do I see? Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, Magic, Mantis, Cloak. Okay, cool. So now you know what they have, right? Their tanks, Hulk and Thor. They have a flyer. They have a magic, a flanker, brawler. And then you have these two supports here, right? So you know that they have sleep for you. You know that they have ways to stop your movement with like uppercut. And from CC you have exile. And I think that's it CC wise. The dash from Cap, not really too bad because you can kind of just sprint out of it. I'm pretty sure. I mean, not Cap, from Thor. So gotta make sure you watch out for these CCs. And then when it comes to fighting here, I would say you want to force fights on the Iron Man into the open, right? You don't want to play in claustrophobic spots. You can allow your your guys to shoot at them, and then hopefully you can throw shields at him. We're backing up here. We definitely do want to know where they're going. We gotta be careful there. So you see how you're throwing shields into the Thor here, and this is a perfect example of what I was trying to talk about, right? So you don't do a lot of damage. So the fact that you're throwing all your damage into a tank is just like bad, right? So in this scenario here, I would much rather you just punch the Thor and then just throw shields at the Iron Man. Will you kill the Iron Man with your low damage? Probably not. But if they don't heal him, you could, as well as, right? If anybody else shoots him, right? That could be a pick, right? So we definitely want to make sure that we're doing that more so instead of just tossing damage into tanks. The one thing about cap gameplay is it's a little rough because it's just so much movement. Instead of going back, you could have went through this pathway here. Health pack, right? So pathing too. So the things that I noticed so far with you are going to be target prio and pathing. Just understanding where to go, where you can go. If you die here, it's a big stagger. Oh, this is really rough. Oh, yeah, you're probably gonna die here. No way, right? Yeah, so that's a humongous stagger. And that's also extremely bad, right? So definitely don't want to do that. Definitely need to be aware of your pathing so you can go the right way. And if you are that low of health and it's highly unlikely you get out, you probably should just take the death a little earlier. Because as of this point, you're just super staggered. This guy's staggered too. Oy. That's not good. They're going to gain a lot of space off of that. Shield throw. Okay, that's good. I like to engage in the back. Be careful if you're blind. Oh, I'd ult here. Yeah, I'd ult. Oh. So you see how like you pop an ult, they're popping 2 ults. Actually, you're popping a lot of ults here. I'm doing a lot of nothing right now. We gotta get something done. Okay, so your team dumped a lot of ults, right? They're gonna come back with some ults too, with 1. So I would say your best bet here is to counter ult the Coco. This next fight. Gotta force out Cloco and then just counter ult it. You hear her? Pop your ult, pop your ult, come on. Do it, why not? Don't lose space. Pop your ult. Like, okay. Okay, we're all alive here, right? Cloak ults, right? We're all alive. Why aren't we popping ult here? Look. Boom, somebody dies. Now, would your ult have saved that person? Probably not, because they're probably really far back. See where this guy's at when you do that. Yeah, so she's already back there, so that's not really a team awareness. right? But yeah, so I mean, but in my head, you would have popped your ult before he died. Now that he dies is a little iffy, but if you lose this fight, I don't know if you're gonna be able to retake. So I would say at this point now, if I'm you, I'm hiding. I'm hiding and making sure that I'm gonna be able to get touch here. I'm gonna get the health back, get healthy, and then just be ready to get a touch with your ult. But I would have popped ult alert a lot earlier when that cloak popped ult. This is way too early. Your team's getting contested. They're not going to be back yet if you die. Like you're the touch. Yeah, it's just like, why do that when, like, I know sometimes I'm like, oh, you're not really doing anything right now. But like this would have been a good time to not do nothing, right? Just hide here, just chill. Okay, we need a touch, need a touch, need a touch. I can touch, right? And you can stall as long as possible. Because right now you can't really fight because your team's not here. All right, so we're coming out of spawn. We're down to support. Okay. So we need to help your Hulk, right? So in my head, it's like, I feel like if we don't pop our ult here and walk in, that'll also help your team kind of follow you in because it's gonna give them health and speed, or over like shield and speed, and you're gonna get to your Hulk and help him. I just feel like you're never gonna get that ult out. Like right there, like if you would have just like the second she would have spun in, if you would have popped ult and just been like walk forward, right? Just ignore her and just walk past her with that overhealth, would have been fine. But now you have no support, so now you definitely got to use your ult here if you're gonna save your Hulk. Now it's only you and freaking Longman here. I'm gonna stall. He knows how to freeze you. Oh, I just keep pausing on accident. Okay, you use your ult there. Y'all gotta fight win. Oh. Like, what's stopping y'all from doing it earlier and saving your, saving your guy as well as doing that? So. What am I doing? I know you're on controller, but I would say just like max your sense out with this guy and if you're gonna be a cat main, and get used to playing at high sense, because there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to sprint, jump, turn around to block damage, and then when you hit the ground, turn back around, jump again, and spin back around, right? Like you running away with your shield up when your back's exposed, like it doesn't do anything. You got a cloak ult, so you're not gonna really die here. I would say just kind of look around and see what you can do. Give ult.
Final 10 seconds.
Behold, that child!
Fighting until we have a winner.
I pop your ult. So they pop the ults and we never spawn with an ult. The long brawl. Yeah. I really would like to see you like throwing your shields at the Iron Man more. I feel like he's not getting it. He's not getting looked at enough. And if there's anything that I've learned from playing Flyers, sorry, it's that people don't like. Not that they don't like, but they don't look up as much as they should. So you can get a lot of easy picks on Flyers because of that. You got 4 tanks now? What in the world? Nice. Good kill. This game is definitely really messy. But on to attack. Alright, so we're still playing the Cap, and we're playing with Venom now instead of the Hulk. So Venom's definitely going to be a lot faster than the Hulk. And with that being said, but you still kind of have like a brawly comp. So with that being said, I feel like the Venom's probably going to do his own thing. You probably got to kind of lead the charge a little bit through main, if anything. But it should still be a similar dynamic where it's just like you got to figure out what they have, how does that affect how you play, and things like that. If they still have a flyer, which it seems like they're not going to, right? You know, obviously you punch tanks, throw shields at them. If they don't, you can just flat out dive them because they're actually diveable. If they do have a Wolverine now, it's going to make it really annoying because Wolverine is really good into tanks. If you want to stay as far as you can from the Wolverine.
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Prepare to engage.
Oh, go for the rocket. So rocket, right, has a res beacon, right, and he's also a healer. When you go after somebody, both healers, gonna heal them. Versus if you go after one person, only one person can heal them and they can heal themselves. But then again, now nobody else is getting healed, right? So it's like, yeah, I would say it's always better to attack healers if you can than it is to attack a DPS unless you have the burst to kill through the healing, which Cap does not have. There you go. Rocket slow, rocket down, cool. Looking for the next healer. Nice. Get that too, right? Easy money. She dropped down. Go get her. Oh, she can hear her. You can hear her shooting. So right now your homie's doing a lot, which is nice. Giving that easy money. Just got res, but it shouldn't matter. No grab. I'd force out his passive if anything, if you could. Should throw. Nice. So now, contrary to belief, like I don't like having all these people on the cart. Like we already got 3. We don't need more. As tanks here, you should be kind of like holding space. So instead of you going all the way back there, like I would much rather prefer to see you holding the space here. Because look, imagine too if you would have like maybe listened, you might have heard or seen her here, and you could have got that dive off. I mean, I can't guarantee that you'll get the pick, but maybe you do. right? But I definitely want to. I want you to hold space here, which it looks like you are. But I would hold high ground. Like hold this high ground here. Like you want to take as much space from them as possible, because when you don't take this high ground, you just like let them take the space for free, as you can see, right? Watch from right here. Right. So instead of the fight placing at this choke here, you're allowing it to be taken here. Not that it is, it's just you're allowing it versus forcing it to be taken here. There we go. Now we're walking up. Boy, we should have been up there to begin with. Oh, respond with an ult. Think about it this way. When Cloak has ult up, can you kill anything? No. For the most part. Can they kill you? Yes. So why not make it so they can't? Like, look, you lost a player, you lost space. Like, you could have denied that. They're down a tank, we're down a support. They're down a support, we have the advantage now. Free kill, nice. At least we know you have to handle that. Break the res beacon if you can, break the res beacon. I got res broken already. I hit that wall, locked them in. Just locked them in there. Lock them in, hit the wall. Oh. You punch that wall, it closes, and they're locked in there for a little bit. Oh, lag. It's unfortunate. They used tools to win that fight. Happens.
I never stay down. Coming through. Hey team, enjoy the
No clobber, no wolf.
Get that vehicle moving again.
Oh, use that ultimate. Now, I definitely should use that ultimate. They just popped 2 ults. Oh, goodness. Oh. Obviously, I'm gonna try to not complain about it anymore, but it's like, this is just ridiculous. Like, that ult needs to come out so much more often. You could have had so many ults, but you're not getting them because you're not using them, right? Like, okay, let's think about this real quick, because I guess I didn't break it down in the beginning, right? Cap ult, right? What ways do I see cap ult? I see it as a stall, as a support ult, and as a initiation. Like I'm spelling this wrong, right? But these are the 3 ways that I like to use it, right? Okay, your team is not going to make it back in time unless you stall. Boom, good ult. It's called. They pop 3 ults. They pop cloak. They pop Hulk. They pop whatever, right? So your ult is kind of a support ult. It gives movement speed to speed people out, right? And it gives shields, right? Support ult, right? Or an initiation ult. If you don't have ults to counter, if you don't need it to stall, you can use it to start fights, right? Because let's be real. If you had to fight an enemy who now is twice as fast and has more health, are you going to want to do that? No, that's going to suck, right? Imagine you're getting ran at by a magic who's twice as fast and has even more health. That's a nightmare scenario, right? So it's like, But see, when you have characters like this, and you have characters like this, right? That like to go in, like to walk in, like, or even your supports, it allows your supports to be a little bit more brawly, right? Like, you have so many opportunities to use your ult for so many different reasons, and I've seen you use it to stall. I believe that's about it. I think you only use it to stall, and I feel like if you think about more ways to use it supportively as well as initiate, you definitely get to use it a lot more. Because there's a lot of times where it's like you can just prevent your teammates from dying, but you're not doing it. She goes behind that wall, you block her out. It's an ult. It's an ult. It's an ult. It's a great reason to use yours. You lost two. Yeah, our teammates are just dying. Granted, he'd die all the way back there, but... Oh, your team's back. Oh, give them the advantage they want, they need. And you support said. Cap is really bad at peeling. But if you pop your ult, that's like initial peel you get for your team, and it allows them to have a little bit more like freedom, right? And the ult still doesn't get used. You have a minute left, so you're gonna get probably one more fight after this one. Your team's not gonna get it right away. They're gonna stagger, because that's what ranked teammates do.
60 seconds left.
Now we have 60 seconds. Fights take about 20 to 30 seconds. So you're about to be at 30, so you about to get one more fight. This is probably your last fight here, so you have to use your ult this fight. Here we are. Nobody's dead. Right, Venom goes in. Pop your ult. Nice, cool. You're going in. Unfortunately, one of your teammates died. So one thing too is just be more aware of your teammates, because maybe you could have jumped to your teammate and popped it on top of them and then ran to the objective. Close the door, close the door, close the door. Close the door, close the door, close the door. Brother, look. Look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Close the door. You lock 5 guys out. And I think you just push it. Please, somebody close the door. Anybody. There's 6 of y'all. Close the door. Oh my gosh. Could be a bug. It might have been there on your screen, because that happens in my games too, but I don't know. I feel like it's there. You can see it, it's there. I like this confirming ult. Cancel her note. 82%. Let's have ult. If you get it, I expect you to have it right away. Oh, please, 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 no reason not to ult here, please. Come on, man. They popped 2 support ults. What are we doing? Oh.
Final score.
Alright, man. We going to the notes. Going to the notes. Alrighty, so these are going to be your notes for today, right? Number one, use your dang ult, man. We talked about ways you can use your ult, whether you use it for as a support ult, whether you use it to stall time, whether you use it to initiate fights. But we gotta use our ult more, man. You're building it, and you're just sitting on it forever, right? Counter support ults, right? Even if you can't, it doesn't matter if you can't get elims. It's not always about getting elims, but it's about value. If you are popping ult and you are denying ult from their value from their support ult, that's huge. That means they popped that ult for no reason. For no reason. Right? So now after that ult ends, now your DPS can do their thing. Right? But we gotta be using our ult, man. Gotta get more ults off. Gotta be using it for the right things. But I would much prefer you use your ult in bad ways so that you can figure out what's a good way than to just sit on it the whole game. Number 2 is going to be timing and space control. It wins games, right? So, for example, after you broke first checkpoint, right? You captured the objective, right? You're pushing it, right? And you win that fight. Y'all like sat on like the close high ground and low ground instead of taking their high ground when they weren't even there, which sucks because the more space that you earn but don't take, you're giving it back to them for free. Like they have to earn it. The way I like to think about spaces, I like to think about it like, and other things too, but like think about it like money, right? If you see money on the floor, you're gonna pick it up. You're gonna pick it up. So why, when you win a fight and you earn space, you're just allowing them to get it back for free, right? Like like if you, now like if you're like, whoa, think about it from a moral standpoint. If somebody drops their money, I'm gonna give it to them. We're not talking about that. We're talking about random money nobody dropped. You and somebody else walk upon it, and you're like, he can have it. No, you need to pay your damn bills. Take that space. And then timing. What I mean by that is just making sure we're doing things at the right time. Not doing it too fast. Not coming in too late, right? Finding those windows to do things at the right time. Do I want to go in when my team's way too far back and they can't peel for me and they can't help me? No. A fight's about to break out. The tanks are coming in. I go into their back line. Now their tanks have no support, right? It's like finding ways to like do things at the right time is very, very important. Right, we don't want to be going in too early, doing things for no reason, because then you go in, dump all your cooldowns, not have nothing, you get out, and now when the fight's really going on, you're not doing anything. And then tip number 3, this is going to be the final tip, is going to be target prio. An easy way for me to break this down is from the beginning of the game. You're punching the Thor, you're getting your shield throws, and instead of looking up and throwing them at the Iron Man, because you now have the range to do that, you're just throwing it at the Thor, who can dash and get shields, who can get healed by 2 supports, right? Like you're throwing it at a guy who just inherently is super tanky and super sustainable compared to throwing it at a guy who is, for one, is a huge threat to your team, but 2, is actually more likely to die, right? So we definitely got to make sure we're looking at the right things at the right time as well. With that being said, that's going to wrap up this VOD review. Hopefully you learned something and hopefully you enjoyed it, and that's also towards everybody else who's watching the video. If anybody here wants to get some coaching, you know where to find me, man. Link down in the description below where you will be able to get access to my Discord and submit a VOD review request, right? Other than that, hopefully you guys have a great morning, day, night, wherever you may be. Coach Apxche, God bless, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.